Hey, what's up, you amazing hackers? I hope you're all doing well today. I have this amazing hacker here with me. He's called Secret Letters, Mr. Secret Letters. How are you doing today, my friend?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on your channel.
It's an honor to have you here, my friend. You've been bug bounty hunting for a while as well. You have your own channel. Seriously, guys, go check out Secret Letters channel. It'll be in the description below. What are you doing if you haven't checked it out yet? It's amazing.
Missing out,
You've been
man. They're missing out.
You're missing out. Be there or be square, guys. So you've done quite a lot of bug bounty hunting before already. Can you tell us a little bit about how you started in bug bounty hunting? What drove you there?
I like researching, and I also like helping people out most of all. I hate when I see people get hacked and where it can be prevented. So I got into bug bounty hunting and hoping to find some good vulnerabilities and help companies out there secure their networks.
That's really cool, man. I think a lot of hackers do it because they love protecting other companies. That's really, really cool. And
Yeah.
what's really awesome about you as well is that you started a channel, a YouTube channel, to help more people even. And that brings joy to my heart, because if you can
Yeah.
teach 100 people, you can test 100 times more targets. What drove you, why did you start that YouTube channel? What drove you to that?
I like to expose, hackers' methodologies, hackers' TTPs, otherwise known as their tactics, techniques, and procedures. I don't like keeping all that to myself. I like sharing that out there to people out there in the community, man. I like to give back to them. So wherever I can help out, give back, I'm all for it.
It's really awesome, man. Can you tell us a little bit about your first bug?
Yeah, man. My first bug was a high severity. It was a Cisco vulnerability path traversal. And I was hunting on the Department of Defense and I came across it, man, and crossed my fingers that it was valid. Submitted the write up to the Department of Defense. They validated it. And since then I've been hooked.
Did you feel that rush, man? Did you feel that rush coming on when you
Yeah, man, most definitely. People talk about that rush when they're submitting their write-ups and then waiting for triage and then waiting for the confirmation. Once you get that rush, man, you want to get to the next bug and you want to get to the next bounty and you want to keep going.
How do you keep going? What's your methodology?
A lot of people out there, they talk about getting burned out. I know a lot of bug bounty researchers, they'll be out there hacking, 24/7 and they'll get burned out. I like to do it when I have some downtime, some free time. I like to start off with my subdomain enumeration. I have some automated scripts out there that help me out with that. From subdomain enumeration, I like to go into vulnerability scanning with nuclei. That gives me a quick hit if anything out there is vulnerable to any CVEs or vulnerabilities. I like to work on big scopes, big projects. I like to swim in the ocean with a bunch of hackers. I don't like swimming in a small scope or in other words, in a small swimming pool with 1,000 hackers looking for the same thing. I'd rather look for the same thing in an ocean. Gives me a better chance out there.
That's really cool, man. It's also one of the big questions that I always had answered, because for me, recon is also very important, but I do it very, very differently. When I do recon, I do Google dorking and I look at what subdomains I can find there, because my assumption is everybody's using the same tool, so everybody will find the same subdomains. Now, the real cool thing about Nuclei is that you can write your own template. Also, like, I think the bigger scopes really help, because there are so many things out there that developers forget about, so many servers out there running that some developer put up. And especially in these
Yeah.
Corona times, I think it's really, really useful to have somebody pen test your network or bug bounty hunt on your network, of course.
Yeah, like going on
As of
GitHub and just looking for credentials and things like that. It's an easy bounty. A lot of
exactly,
sysadmins will go on GitHub and they'll disclose information that shouldn't be public, and you can just easily quickly pick that up.
And do you ever focus on vulnerability disclosure programs instead of paid programs?
Yeah, so the Department of Defense, if you want, I can share my screen.
That would be really cool, because vulnerability disclosure programs, in my opinion, are also worth focusing on, but not everybody agrees on that.
Here's the HackerOne dashboard, right? So here's the hacktivity. I do like to come in here a lot. I like to see what researchers are disclosing out there. So when a report gets resolved, people can go ahead and disclose that. And one of the things I like to do is I like to read what people are finding out there. And I like to see if that's something that I could also find. Here's a good one, stored cross-site scripting. He goes on and reports on how he found this cross-site scripting, and he goes through the proof of concept. So I like to read through a lot of researchers' reports, and it's another way that helps me learn, seeing how they're going about reporting them, how they're finding their bugs. And then I don't try to reinvent the wheel, man. I just try to find them on the scopes that I'm hunting on. One program I do like to hunt on, here's my public hunts. I do have a few private ones, but the biggest one I like to go on is the Department of Defense. You can see I reported 3 and they validated 1. Unfortunately, when you do report things, sometimes they get duplicated, and fortunately it's all part of the game, man. And then another scope I like to hunt on is mail.ru. As you can see, I found 1 vulnerability, but unfortunately it was also a duplicate.
You have quite a lot of cross-site scripting vulnerabilities on there. So if you're hunting mail.ru, look for cross-site scripting, guys.
So if we go into it, you can see their vulnerability disclosure policy. They go through their guidelines. They can tell you what to expect and things like that. And one of the reasons why I like this program is because they're quick at resolving reports. They're quick at getting back to you. You can see the average triage time is 10 hours and the average time for their first response is 9 hours. I know some scopes, you can be sitting out there for days or even weeks wondering what's going on with your report.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the main disadvantages for bug bounties for me, is you never know when you're getting paid. Like, if you really want to be a full-time bug bounty hunter, please consider that you never know when you're getting paid.
That's true, man. That's definitely true. And we can also see their hacktivity. You can see what people have been reporting on recently on the scope. If we go to disclosed reports, you can see that critical was just found 27 days ago. And we can go in here, open these, and you can see that this was CVE 2020 3187, which is something I also like to look for out there on scopes. I'm pretty good at finding the Cisco vulnerabilities. So that's one of the first things I go to when I'm hitting on a scope. I go to what I'm good at for finding.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's something everybody should do, find their unique advantage and leverage it. Like, a lot of people, I know everybody has a unique advantage. Everybody has something they're really, really good at.
Yeah.
And it appears that you are a really good technical tester finding all of these CVEs. Can I ask how you deal with the feeling of getting a duplicate? Because for me, it's very hard to deal with that.
I'm more excited that I found the vulnerability and I went through the process. I did the write-up and things like that, and I reported it. It helps you grow as a hacker, helps you grow as a researcher. The fact that that you're finding the vulnerabilities, man, is the biggest win for me.
Imagine that you find like a critical and it's worth $15,000 and then they come duplicate. Do you still feel the same?
That would suck. That would suck. Have you had that experience?
My first valid report was a cross-site scripting, and it was like $3,000.
Yeah.
And it was a duplicate. That was terrible.
that can be painful.
But yeah, it's something like you say, you have to just be proud that you actually reported something that's valid. That's something to be proud of. Everybody that's watching, guys, remember to be proud of yourself. That's something we often forget.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're beginning with your methodology, everybody has a different methodology. You have a methodology, I have a methodology, and I like to pull from a bunch of different hackers' methodologies and tailor it and what works best for me out there.
Exactly. That's also what I do. And I think everybody should do that because there's so many resources out there and there are many up and coming YouTubers like you and me and inside your PhD. There's
Yeah,
so
she's
many.
great. She's another person I follow too.
Yeah, she's really amazing. She's also very, very kind, and her Discord is really amazing. So go check out our channel if you haven't, guys. One more question I had for you, Mr. Secret Letters. Um, if you're hacking, for me, when I hack, I can only hack when I feel like I have a solid foundation in my life. If something's missing, say, for example, this is just a stupid example, it doesn't happen often, but what happens when you have an argument with your wife for a while and you feel unstable? Do you ever experience those feelings?
Sometimes I get into that mood where I'm not feeling all that creative or energetic to hack. And, for me, I put it down for a little bit and I walk away and then I pick it up later on. But definitely have those same feelings, man.
I think it's very important to care for your mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this straightforward. I don't feel happy a lot of the time, but I take advantage of those moments when I feel really, really happy, and then I just go at 200 miles an hour and I go straight for my target. That's something I
Yeah.
really do. And like when you're, if you're hunting, when you're in that mood, when you're feeling like you're on top of the world, how long do you hunt for? Is it like, okay, I can hold myself back and hunt for a couple of hours, or do you go like 24-hour hunting marathons?
I'm really selective in my hunting. I pick a CVE or a vulnerability that I know I can exploit, and then I try to mass hunt for that.
As for the time spent on a target, how long do you actually spend hunting on a target? If you find a new target, is it like 8 hours or like 2 days or 4 or a week or?
Yeah, I could spend a couple days, but it'll be intermittent. I do like subdomain enumeration, and then from there, I'll go in and explore those. I'll either jump into. I saw you have a professional version of Burp Suite. I use the community version, and I also use ZA Proxy.
Yeah, I'm really familiar with Zap.
I'm a big fan of Zap, so
Me
I'll throw a domain in there and I'll let that run, and then I could spend a week on that and seeing what's been reported back and if there's anything that I can exploit or report on.
Maybe a good tip, but you can also chain Zap to Burp. You can set the proxy of Zap to Burp, and then all the traffic goes through Burp, and you can intercept it again and do your analysis in Burp if you're more familiar with that. But Zap has really good discovery methods and stuff like that. So that's why I like Zap a lot. I usually chain them together a bit. This is one of the biggest advices I can give you guys. Do collaboration, but do collaboration with people of your own level. If you're just starting out, don't go looking for people who are experienced to collaborate with you because they would be teaching you, they would be dragging you along. Hunters like to move, hunters like to make some speed. And if you are starting out, group up with people who are also starting out and share ideas. Bring some life into the group and help each other out. That's how you get along. And if you're a somewhat experienced hunter, look for other somewhat experienced hunters. Don't go looking for a group of like people like Jason Haddix. Don't go hunting with those people because seriously, they'll make you eat dust. Like they go so fast and you won't be able to keep up.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
Nahamsec.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, it's
Those
great.
people, incredible how they work, man. Incredible. For you, amazing hacker. Do you have some last advice for our viewers?
Keep learning, don't get depressed, finding duplicates or not finding bugs. It happens to everybody.
Yeah, man, that's true. You have dry streaks. I have dry streaks. We have dupe
Yeah.
streaks. We have even named them. That's how important they are and how often they come. So I have
Yeah.
some last amazing great news for you. There are some amazing cross-site scripting videos coming along because I think a lot of people focus way too much on HTML injection. The JavaScript context is a gold mine, and I'll prove it to you guys in some of the coming videos. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Mr. Secret Letters, for your amazing interview, for your time. It was great having you on the channel.
Yeah, man. I'll see you out there on the hunt.
All right, guys. See you later, everybody. Bye.